Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in to check out your boy, P Funk. Thinking right out here in my lab where I do what I do for you. We done changed the venue a little bit. I've been in the crates, okay? This is where we going, okay? The Nile Valley contributions to civilization. Let's talk about what we did, and let's call it Black history. Let's go. Our history, as a matter of fact. All right, let's go. Rightism, 25 rules to live by. Storytelling, story with a message. There's a message in the story for life. I give life lessons. You tune in and receiving them. I appreciate you. We got a good thing going. It's about to get better. Let's rock. Right thinking mission, and I'm on it, is to enlighten. I'm going to do that. Inspire, that too. Educate, always that. And motivate all you individuals to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. That's my goal. Right thinking's way of life through mental and spiritual discipline practice daily will help and guide you to obtain your goal of spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. My mission is that all right thinkers know thyself. That's why I do this for you to do just that. As a right thinker, your goal is to take the lessons, use them, and know thyself. See I'm going here? Let's get there together. So I asked the question, do you know you? It's rhetorical. But if you don't have the answer for yourself, that's okay. I'm here to help you out with that. That's what I do for you. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple, but you can teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. Appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believe and think that they know is dangerous. Avoid them. I do. A person who knows and knows not that they know is spiritually asleep. I can awaken them. I'm the spiritual alarm clock here too. Wake you up with knowledge of self. That's what I do for you. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinkers, know thyself, and always to my yacht. Be true. This is stuff that I learned over 30 years ago. It might seem a little militant now because I'm going to present it to you in lesson form, but when I learned it, that's a guy called Asa Hilliard, he one of our scholars. Ivan Van Sertima, Dr. Ben Yakinen, John Henry Clark, John Jackson, all these guys are the guys I studied under, and they was prolific and they was good at what they did. Let's talk about how A.C. Hilliard felt about how to free your African mind. Being black. We was proud to be black, okay? But we're going to see here, a lot of us ain't proud of being who we are. We want to be like them. Let's talk about that. This should be a little break, but what I teach, but it's still falling line. This is what I learned when I was learning the philosophical concepts of how to think right. Mental bondage is the new prison. Is invisible violence. Formal physical slavery has ended in the United States. Have it? This is what they like you to think. Remember, mental slavery continues to this day. What do you mean? Yeah, we have been given a belief system that's not ours, that we believe that is for us. And this slavery that mental slavery affects the minds. That's the mental slavery of all black people. And in one way, it is worse than what? Physical slavery alone. Yeah. When you got somebody bound and chained, okay. But when you got somebody mentally bound and chained, you can control and manipulate them as long as you want. And the problem is they won't even know it. That's what we trying to talk about. Get out that mindset. Free your mind and your ass will follow. George told us that. That is what? That the person who is in mental bondage, black people lack knowledge, will be now self-contained. Black on black crime. We treat each other bad. We keep complaining about the white man and he ain't in our neighborhood, but we tear the neighborhood up. We won't come together. Why? Because the mental slavery, he keeps us separated. And since he did that, now we're doing a job for him because we're mentally ignorant and don't know. So we're constantly doing what he told us. If your oppressor gives you anything, don't take it. Not only will that person fail to what? Challenge the misguided beliefs that was given to them and the patterns of thought which control them. You ain't even questioning what he's giving you. He will defend, and this is your religious concept, right? This might be Christians, Muslims, and Jews. Not so much. But he will or she will defend and protect those belief systems. What? And the patterns of thought virtually what? With his or her last dying effort. I don't mind dying for a cause, a reason, a purpose, but not for nothing. Just saying. And this is Asa G. Hilliard III from the introduction of, he had a book back in 1976, a good read called Stolen Legacies. And he was all about telling us how they stole everything from us. I got a whole book about everything that we got. I'm going to go through it briefly because this is what the contribution to civilization was from us. And they downplay it. We did pretty much everything. Moving on. Like Little Richard. They stole everything. The man in the mirror, psychological effects of mental slavery. Right there. The man in the mirror. I had to bring that up. I got this picture to show you. I showed the last lesson. This is where we're going now. This is what they want us to believe. This was us when we was unconscious. Okay? This is being led to what? To be like them. Right? Little boy look in the mirror. All he see is Superman, the white hero. Okay? In Africa, they had Tarzan. Ain't nowhere in the world some white man could be flying around and screaming and hooping and hollering and controlling us as a people. But they draw that concept. And now you can visualize it because they didn't give you a concept and you went with it. This is the picture that I want my young people to see. Who did he see in that picture? His reflection. Okay? What he's standing on? Books. Okay? Learning, living, and you will get to that level in life. Not that superhero nonsense. Okay? But we've been there, we're there. My goal now is like Harriet Tubman. I'm trying to free all those who, I could free a lot more, y'all, if you know where you're at. Now y'all don't even know you're slaves mentally. Okay? Most of all, spiritually. Why? Because they control your thought process and you think it's all great. So understand that. The man in the mirror, psychological effects of mental slavery. That's one that's been hammering us to since the 60s. We in the 220s. I remember them times. I made sure my heroes was black. John Henry, when I was coming up, that was my dude, okay? Y'all didn't hear much about John Henry, still driving, man. Yeah, he was, yeah. But I didn't follow no white people. No. They was there. But I sift out me some black heroes, and now we got a bevy of them. From stem to stern, don't need no more than white-faced heroes. Just want to get that out there. Let's talk about mental slavery right quick. Mental slavery is a condition that's affecting our people regardless of your race, your nationality, or economic status. Why? Because the perceptions of reality that you have in your mind will either free you or keep you enslaved mentally. If you follow a religion, you're still enslaved. Well, but I don't care. I'm explaining something to you. I'm not here to debate and argue. I'm here to give you a point and give you a concept and meet my issues. Not to debate, argue about them. You can like them, not like them, approve them. Don't make a difference to me, but I'm making my point, and this is a fact. One has to ask his own self the question, what has been the cumulative effect of what? The mind manipulation and the religious concept of our history, the history of what? Our African people, the black man. Back then, everything was African. They wanted Africa to be recognized for what they did, and they just refused to do it. So we as the people, we have to acknowledge it. Now, all of a sudden, everybody want to be Afrocentric. Everybody want to be Kemetic conscious, which is fine. But look, we wasted 50 years of what? Nonsense with that card. Now we got to deprogram, and that's my job, is to deprogram that nonsense and reprogram you with something that you can actually use and feel good about yourself. That's the difference. Knowledge of self does that. Okay? This question is of particular importance. Why? To people of color or African descent. This is a black man talking about the problems of the black people. what has happened to the minds of generations. Okay, we said generations with an S, plural. A few generations of what? African Americans. Since we've been in America, we still not what? Free. Mentally, spiritually, economically. We still are slaves. Understand that. But we got to stop with the nonsense and take and understand the lesson. African Americans who grew up what? Believing what? That the straight hair, here you go to look, the straight hair was good hair. Man, my hair nappies always been, always will be. But my dad, he wore process. His hair ain't never got kinky no more. He fried it, dyed it, laid it to the side. But that was the style. Again, when you follow, you got to pay the consequences for that too. Simple as that. A lot of people who did that, their hair to the day is thin and ain't wearing another lesson. Again, black people trying to emulate that other guy. And all he been doing was stealing from us, putting it back, and making us emulate him. That's trickery. And watch this. We grew up thinking that straight hair was good hair. And light skin was fair skin. This is why the light skin guys catch hell. Because back 56 years ago, if you light skin, you light bright down and white, you can pass. So you was okay. If you dark and black, you got to get back. That was the mindset, and understand that's the mindset they carried over. And what happened to the minds of millions of people who grew up hearing that your skin is too dark. Your nose, here's a good one. Your nose is too wide. According to who? I use my nose to damn it breathe. Oh, it don't look. Who gives a crap? You would cut off your nose to spite your face. Oh, my nose needs to be different. I got something for that too. I got a nice little lesson. That's why I'm taking on this road. Okay, now, your nose is too wide, your lips are too thick, and your hair's too nappy. Reverse it. Your skin is too light, your hair is too thin and stringy, okay? Your lips is too thin, and your nose is too narrow. Simple. Who sets the bar? They shouldn't set the bar for us. So that's the mindset that's been going on for a long time. We call it white privilege now, okay? Everybody wants their nose. Everybody wants... No, now they went... Now y'all want to look like us. All of a sudden, they want the big, fat, look like baboon butt lips. They get them Botox lips all not like a baboon's butt. But now they want to look like us. See? Cycle. Okay, let's go on. But that nappy hair. They want dreads, okay? When Samson had his power, it was in what? His hair. Moving on. What happens to people who grow up believing that the image, watch this, of the man or the woman who stares back at them in the mirror is inferior? That's what they showing you when they put that white face. But we showing you put the black face there. Our ancient ancestors, we wasn't all slaves. That mindset is what they gave you. They sold you that mindset. Get out of there. If you're religious, go back further. Why? It'll get black. I don't teach none of what they teach y'all. Not a bit of it. The Bible, the Torah, or the whatever other book y'all lose. The Quran. Don't need none of them. Why? Information I got was before that. That's why. No other reason. No other reason. What I have predates all of that. Moving on, that's why. And when you grow up with that mindset, what happens? The image of man and woman, stare back at them, is not even of your color. How you have a God that don't even look like you? That's what we try to project 50 years ago. Now it's my turn. I'm in the driver's seat trying to teach a concept because we really done fell off. We way out of the control. I'm trying to put us back in some kind of order. But watch this. If you believe you're inferior and incapable of what? Right thoughts or right actions, you're a bad person. Really? That's the mindset that they put you in. That's the enslavement that they got you under over a period of years. These people, what would happen? Well, now they would become mental slaves, spiritual slaves. I believe. Now you're like walking drones. You don't want to hear nothing but what your belief system is telling you. Wrong mindset. And you become mentally enslaved and to what? To thoughts of self-inferiority. Now you your own worst enemy. You ain't got to do nothing now. You beating yourself down. Black on black crime. And if given the opportunity to what? Change the physical appearance of the image that stares back in the mirror, we going straight, what we do when we get famous, we go straight to the what? Cosmologist, whatever guy who fix you up. And they problem, what's this? They probably would, what? If given opportunity today, millions of African Americans will gladly pay plastic surgery, to do them what? What Napoleon allegedly did to the Sphinx, shot the nose off. Okay, he didn't like it, supposedly. Changed the nose and the lips in an attempt to become what? Something other than what God created you to be. Hold that thought right there. Put a pencil right here. Let me show you a picture. Now, this is changing the face of entertainment industry back in the day. I got 4 people. I'm pretty much, most young people might not know them. But this is starting out with Patti LaBelle. When she first came into the industry, she had the big flap nose. See the nose? When she made a little money, look at the nose now. You got George Benson, the guitar player, on Broadway, man. That's how he looked when he got to Broadway. Once he started making some money, look at his face. Changed. Oh, everybody know about Mike. But remember her? What's that? My girl. Stephanie Mills. Now, I went and seen her when she was a kid with the nose all over her face. I'm in the front row at the play with the Wiz. I didn't have a problem with how she looked at all. But she did, obviously. Why? Because look what she did. She went from that to this. I prefer that. Patty, I prefer that. George, I prefer that. Mike, I sure don't like this guy. Okay? But we all did it. Not we, but we as black people started changing to look like them, to pass, so we can, whatever. I don't buy into that. And Mike had the best. Okay, if you wrote the music, The Man in the Mirror, you ain't following your own concepts. I'm just saying. See, you can, when I teach where I live, why? It's easy. I ain't got to make nothing up. I ain't got to produce nothing. Just give it to you. But when you ain't doing that, you got to start looking a little hypocritical. Why? If what you preaching ain't what you living, they're going to know that. So did you really start with The Man in the Mirror? Moving on. I do every day. And many people mistakenly, what? Believe. That right there. Belief is a mistake. Belief and ignorance is 2 things you should not fall on. Why? Because it's going to lead you to the wrong place. Many people mistakenly believe that money, again, fame, will bring them happiness. Really? If the work you put in to become famous, you're going to change to, really? That don't make sense to me. But money without consciousness, like they say, a fool's money will soon part, will usually lead to what? You ready? Self-destruction. Ding, 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 ding. The hieroglyphic sign for your ego, Seth, is a man with a hatchet to his head. I want to modernize that as a young boy with a gun to his head. Same thing, self-destructive. Okay? You, your worst enemy. Okay? The enemy from within. And again, they're either going to be self-destructive in some form or another. They're going to do the wrong thing. Simple as that. Why? They're ignorant. They don't know. When you do things that you don't know, like Steve said, when you believe in things that you don't understand, you're going to suffer. Why? You're going to make bad decisions. And superstition and belief in something that you don't know ain't the way, because you will suffer for your actions because they have consequences. Take, for example, right here, entertainment, I just showed you, who serve a larger than life role models for most young people. We look up to them. We idolize them. I'm not going to have nobody change my nose. I'm not doing none of that. But I ain't going to be rich and famous. I ain't going to worry about that. But to get there, I put hard work in just to do what I do. So I don't worry about how rich or famous I get. No, I'm good doing just what I'm doing. Why? I'm happy with myself. When you have knowledge of self, that's all that matters to you. Moving on. And because we have people looking at you and think you're somebody, that's not always good. If you're going to follow somebody, when I was coming up, the athletes didn't have their number on the back of their jersey. They let their work put up the number. Gail said number 40. You see 40 in Chicago, you don't need the name on the back of that jersey. Okay? 12 for the Jets. You don't need the name on the back of that jersey. Some people, they 56. You don't need, it's back there, but you don't need the name on there. Okay, that's what I'm saying. It ain't in the name, it's in the action. It ain't in what you say, it's in what you do. And when you start changing your personality, something may be wrong with you. Why? I'm not doing none of that. I'm moving on. We are who we are. Well, I got what I got. Simple as that. I ain't never been big. None of that. So I ain't missing none of that. You can't miss what you can't measure anyway. Let me wrap this lesson up. I see the clock. But we're going to be here for a minute. So I'm going to take my time, wrap this lesson up, and get on to church. I got some things to do this morning. But understand this. They have money and they have fame. But what they don't have, what they most lack is what? Sense of security, self-knowledge, and culture identity. You can't represent the culture by crossing over. A survey of select group of African American entertainers, and it will show that their popularity increased when they started appealing to the white people. That's called crossover. That's called crossover appeal, becoming commercial, okay? And commercially and physically, they want to be accepted. I'm a black man. I could care less about the white man world being accepted. Could care less. Respect me and leave me be. Moving on. Why? As these entertainers crossed over, I hate that, you could see a profound change in their hair, their nose, and their lips. Obviously, making changes to to look like the other people. I'm gonna let that marinate, okay? Because I'm gonna shut it down because I've got something to do. But here's a picture of Mike back in his day, okay? All that talent, immense talent. And I tell people having a big heart and being talented with not this don't work well. Okay, understand that. So I'm gonna get into the next lesson, but right now I'm gonna shut it down. And in closing and parting right now, right thinkers, this is a new thing. I'm trying to get across some information, teach a little different concept because we need to come out this mental bondage. So when anything I can do to help that, that's what I do for you. But in closing, may you all live to be 100. Me, 100 bites a day. So I never know that my right thinkers have passed away. Knowing thyself has always been important. 50 years ago, you see where it took us? Know thyself. Stop changing to appease them. Be yourself. Know thyself. I do.